Hey, what do it, y'all? Swish Entertainment putting y'all tune to all y'all favorite rappers and celebrities. Like, but first, I need a little favor done for y'all first. Please like, comment, subscribe this video, hit the notification bell as well. That'd be great. Search this channel, put y'all tune to this story. Now, today we'll once again be talking about Jay-Z and the lawsuit that was filed against him alongside the music mogul Diddy. So, the rapper Jay-Z was accused of having committed sexual assault against a Jane Doe alongside Diddy at a 2000s VMAs after party. However, this lawsuit was withdrawn last month in February by no one other than Jane Doe herself. Do keep in mind, though, that Jane Doe was standing firmly by the accusations that she had made against both Jay-Z and Diddy that they had committed the acts of sexual assault against her. Jane Doe claimed to have been at the age of 13 when she had been victimized. Many inconsistencies were found in Jane Doe's lawsuit that she had filed alongside her attorney, Tony Busby. To begin with, Jane Doe's father had done an interview where he would end up making the revelation that he does not have a recollection of having driven 5 hours to pick up his daughter from a party or a location around a party. The father will reveal that the location that both him and Jane Doe had lived at in 2000 was 5 hours away from the location where the 2000 VMAs after party was at, which was in New York City. Jane Doe would dismiss her father's claims, attributing his recollection to his lack of memory. Jane Doe's father, in addition, has stated that he only recalled picking up his daughter during a short night drive. Another inconsistency found in Jane Doe's lawsuit was that she had came across 2 celebrities at the 2000 VMAs after party event. She claimed that these 2 celebrities were the Madden brothers, but a representative had come forward to speak on their behalf, claiming that they were not present at the 2000 VMAs after party event, but instead on tour in the Midwest. Lastly, as far as another inconsistency found in the lawsuit filing was that Jay-Z and Diddy were present at the 2000 VMAs after party at all. Pictures that were taken of the 2 celebrities, which would be on the date of September 7th in 2000, would show that they were both not present at the event on that day. So now this being said, that Jane Doe was caught on audio recording during an interview with investigators to having conceded that she was not sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. Jane Doe's lawsuit was originally filed in the month of October in 2024, and it will be edited in the month of December, as Diddy was originally accused as the only celebrity that had committed the act of sexual assault, but Jay-Z was named in the month of December as well. Audio was also provided by Jane Doe's attorney Tony Busby, of Tony Busby having consulted Jane Doe and questioning her in terms of what she had said to the private investigators. All that audio will be provided for listeners to listen to shortly.
But Jay-Z, you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly...
Yeah. He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him.
With Jay-Z? Busby did?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. They don't. I've never said that.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
So to open up, we had the private investigators questioning Jane Doe in terms of the statements that she had originally made in her lawsuit filing. The private investigator had questioned Jane Doe in terms of whether Jay-Z was in attendance of the 2000 VMAs after party and whether he had committed any illegal acts. The private investigator had given her take, which was that Jay-Z was present at the 2000 VMAs after party, but he did not commit acts of sexual assault against Jane Doe. Jane Doe had agreed to this private investigator's take and had said yes. Jane Doe had also accused her attorney Tony Busby of having swayed her to make accusations directed towards the rapper Jay-Z that he had sexually assaulted her at the 2000 VMAs after party. Now in the second piece of audio, it contains Jane Doe's attorney Tony Busby questioning her in terms of what she had said to the private investigators, which is what we had previously reported. Now in the second piece of audio, it had begun with Tony Busby questioning Jane Doe in terms of whether she had denied that Jay-Z had sexually assaulted her, in which Jane Doe had denied having ever said this. Next, Tony Busby had questioned his defendant, asking her if she had accused him of having made accusations directed towards Jay-Z in efforts to gain more financial benefits. Jane Doe, to no surprise, had made the decision to deny having made that claim as well. But when listening to the previous audio, her statements do not align with what she had told her attorney Tony Busby. Now, Tony Busby was very passionate in denying the accusation made by Jane Doe that he had manipulated her into including Jay-Z's name in her lawsuit filing. Tony Busby being questioned is very likely what led to Tony Busby turning over the audio where he had confronted his defendant Jane Doe. Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro had also come forward to speak on the audio recording, which will contain Jane Doe conceding to having lied about Jay-Z having sexually assaulted her. Alex Sproul had expressed that his client Jay-Z is hopeful that this revelation will put an end to the myriad of allegations that he has been dealing with from this lawsuit. Now, one of the private investigators will reveal themselves going by the name of Charlotte Henderson, in which she has said that she had filed an affidavit last week. This affidavit would state that the private investigator Charlotte Henderson had met with Jane Doe on the date of February 21st in the year 2025 this year. The private investigator had held an interview with Jane Doe at her residence in Alabama. The private investigator Charlotte Henderson had stated that she was not hired by Jay-Z or his attorneys, and she had failed to reveal she was being paid by anyone if she was being paid by anyone to begin with. Jay-Z is currently suing Jane Doe and her attorney Tony Busby for defamation. He has already filed a lawsuit against them. Tony Busby has already been consulted in response to the audio recording having been publicized, in which Jane Doe can be heard conceding that she was not sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. Tony Busby can be quoted saying, "The tape is a fraud. They tormented and harassed and tricked that poor woman and took what she said out of context and secretly recorded her. She stands by her claim that Jay-Z assaulted her. She has never wavered on that point once." So Tony Busby has referred to this audio tape as fraudulent, stating that the private investigators had committed harassment towards Jane Doe. Tony Busby is accusing these private investigators of having used tactics to convince Jane Doe to say something that she did not believe. Tony Busby, in addition, has stated that Jane Doe is standing firmly by the accusations that she had made in her lawsuit filing, and that she is never deterred away from those claims, not once. Now, Tony Busby is already dealing with his own set of issues, as he's been denied his ability to practice the law in the Southern District of New York. This is due to the attorney's failure to ask for permission to practice the law in the Southern District of New York before submitting for admission on the day of January 29th this year. This has since resulted in the attorney's privilege to try any case within certain locations in New York being rescinded. This will include the 5 boroughs of New York, as well as Pullman, Dutchess, Rockland, Sullivan, Westchester, and Orange counties. And as to be expected, it is not a good look for one of Tony Busby's defendants to have withdrawn their lawsuit that they have filed alongside him, which is of course Jane Doe's lawsuit that she had filed against Jay-Z that we have recently discussed. But yeah, let's go. Capos video, shout these in the comments. What do you all think of the audio recording that have been publicized? Do you all think this is legitimate, or do you all think the private investigators have manipulated the evidence to work in their favor? Do you all think that Jane Doe had intended to state that Jay-Z did not sexually assault her, or do you all think she had made a slip-up? And to cap that out, what do you all think of the attorney Tony Busby having accused the private investigators of having manipulated the audio recording to work in their favor and support their narrative? Let all that be known in the comments, y'all. That's gonna do it. I'm out.